Hello, you worms. Today we're going to do something a bit different, a bit raw, a bit nasty. I'm just going to be talking to you guys about my art that I did for a stupid movie, and none of it's going to be scripted. None of it's gonna be polished. Keep your expectations very low. I call this segment Gab O'Clock. In Gab O'Clock, I just gab at you and you just listen. Think of it like, I guess, like a radio show or something. But yeah, enjoy and yeah. So, about 2 years ago, which is crazy to think about, I watched a movie called A Knock Knock featuring Keanu Reeves, Ana de Armas, and I forgot the other lady. I feel so bad. But featuring these three guys, and it is known to be Keanu Reeves' worst movie ever made in his entire life, next to Dracula, I guess. And it is bad. It is bad. Is it one of his worst movies? Probably. I haven't seen anything worse than Knock Knock. Wait, I have actually. It was another movie with, ironically, Ana de Armas. Really weird. He was like a cop. I don't know. But Knock Knock is an egregiously horrible film. Like, it's basically about like these two girls who they find Keanu Reeves in his home alone, and they're like, let's fucking torment this guy for no reason, really, just because he's cute. So first they seduce him, and at first he's like, no, I'm a married man, I simply can't. Then Ana de Armas, does her thing, and who can resist Ana de Armas? So they end up having a fuck nasty threesome, and I think he gets pegged. I don't know, it looks like he gets pegged to me. Maybe that's just me trying to make this movie more interesting, but this is where I find the movie, like, this is where I find the potential. This is what grabs me in the film. This is what makes a movie lay eggs in my head. But in the movie, after the whole sexcapades, he's like, all right, it's time to leave, and they don't leave. God damn it, Neo. Must you announce your arrival? Keanu can't seem to get rid of these ladies, these rambunctious ladies in his home. And throughout this film, Keanu is often tied up and gagged and bound, which I truly appreciate. I love that they did that. But it's like the film is supposed to be some kind of like cautionary tale. Men are supposed to be afraid of this film, and it's like, it's not scary, like, at all. It's like the least scariest thing I've ever seen. It's also just not a common situation for a 48-year-old man or whatever to be in. Like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is more realistic. I don't know, it does have potential though. I don't know, it's something, there's like just parts of the movie where I'm like, oh, this is actually really good. This is really good. And then it just falls flat. Like, me and my friend, we kind of bounce ideas off each other, and we were just like, he should have been eaten at the end of the at the end of the film. And wouldn't that have been such a great ending? Wouldn't that have made more sense than them just fucking him and then burying him alive and pretending they're gonna kill him, but they don't kill him? I don't know, I feel like this movie just fell flat in so many ways. The original movie it was based off of, which was called Death Game, was leagues better. Like, yeah, it was your set 1970s, raunch fest, but it was like, it had something it wanted to say. It had a very interesting way of like depicting the whole daddy issues that Ana de Armas' character has, because in the beginning of Death Game, like, they have this whole like kind of like child like drawing, and they're singing about daddy. This movie's really fucked up. But whatever, I think it does a better job at talking about, I guess, that. And it's just a lot more gruesome. Like, someone gets like disintegrates in a fish tank. It's so nasty, but it's so good. It's so good. I don't know, I just feel like the original film, despite it being, 1970s smut fest, it does a much better job at just depicting these unreliable characters. They are constantly lying, and you don't know what's the truth and what's not the truth. And in Death Game, they're a lot more like, they let you kind of figure it out for yourself if they're lying or if they're not lying. But in Knock Knock, they just kind of slap you over the face. They're like, in the end, they're like, we were lying. And it's like, okay, well, thanks for that. Whatever, I recommend this game. I think you should watch it. And Knock Knock, fuck it, why not? Anyway, with that being said, with that shit ass fuck summary of this movie, why have I made fan art for this movie? Why? Well, like I said before, at the time it laid eggs in my head, and I really love Ana de Armas's character so much. I don't know why. I think there's just a moment where she just kept barking like a dog. Like, she just pretended to be a dog, and it was so ridiculous. I just fell in love with her. But one of my favorite scenes in Knock Knock, hate that I have to say that one of my favorite scenes in Knock Knock. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is when they're eating breakfast and they're having the nastiest fucking breakfast ever. Like, they're just eating like slobs. It's disgusting. And they're being disgusting because they can. They're doing it on purpose, and I love that. But they have these like fluffy robes on, and there's a point where Anna like lifts her leg and you see her underwear, and I know I sound like a fucking pervert, but I like that. I think it's cute and like coy. I don't know. So I wanted to draw that because I liked it the way her leg was sticking up like she was a dog. But I wasn't a fan of like the pure white like fluffy robes. Like, why does Keanu have like hotel white robes in his house? Like, you live here, whatever. So in Death Game, they also feature the robes, but they're yellow and blue, which I thought was really cute. I liked that color combination, so I stole that and I wanted to add it to this piece. And yeah, it's actually cool because this was originally just a doodle of the two girls, I believe, if it showed earlier. It was just supposed to be them like dancing and stuff. I was just fucking around. I was kind of art blocked in a way, sort of. I was having trouble figuring out what to draw. And once I drew Keanu, like, this idea just popped in my head instantly. I was like, holy shit, I gotta draw this. I already have an idea of what to draw, and it was so exciting to draw because it all came very easily to me, which doesn't happen too often. I'm always grateful for days where drawing is very easy and a concept from beginning to end is so crystal clear, and I just really liked it. I also wanted to practice poster drawing, I guess, or poster art. So when I approach like poster drawings or mock posters, I like to think of it as if like someone is commissioning me to like make poster art. And whenever I do poster art like this, it's like I want to try and, at least for this piece specifically, I wanted to say as much as I could about the movie without saying too much. So you have these two beautiful ladies. They're very happy. They're very in sync in a way. They're kind of like twins. And there's a door frame, lights. A man is under them. He looks concerned. Oh, he's gagged. And it makes you think, is this about a home invasion? Or is this about, I don't know, something else involving houses and beautiful women? Like, I like to try and exercise my creative muscle, if you will, and I just like to see like how much can I say about a movie or film with just using illustration. I don't know, it's a way for me to be like, hey, if anyone hired you to make a poster, you can do it, Jay. You have the ability to do it. I don't know. Making posters is one of my that's like one of my dream jobs, to make posters. And I know it's kind of like a dead art now, especially with AI, but I don't know. I still hold out hope that maybe someone wants some big Hollywood fat cat wants a stylized, like sloppily done poster by me. But I do love how this turned out, because this was very, very, I don't know if you can tell, I hope you can, it was very, very inspired by the works of Bob Peak. Bob Peak is like one of my biggest inspirations. I think I tried I had another speed paint where I attempted his style before, and I feel like now, like when I started coloring this, which was 2 years later, I understood Bob Peak a lot more than I did when I initially started this piece. And I am glad I continued this 2 years later and didn't just like abandon it, because I don't know, I'm someone who hates when artwork gets abandoned. I hate the ideas of just like works in progresses and stuff. Like even if it takes me like 10 years, I want to be able to finish something. I don't want to leave this realm with like 10 things that I never finished because, I don't know, it wasn't perfect or something like that. And that's kind of something that I tend to do. I'm someone who doesn't like to have a lot of works in progresses because, I don't know, it just bugs me a lot. Like, I know it's common for artists to have a lot of works in progresses. Maybe it's common for some to not have any either, but I don't know. I can tell you though that there's 2 things that I never finished that I can remember, and that's one piece called Lesbian Pursuit, that was Glee fan art in 2015, and my webcomic, which still bugs me that I never finished it. Kind of hurts. Yeah, I guess I don't mean for it to be a humble brag, but I guess it is. But it's like a good thing and a bad thing, because sometimes it's like, all right, you don't have to like finish everything, you know, because I technically don't consider like half done pieces as unfinished. Like if you post it, it's finished. But when it comes to doodles and stuff, I still tend to be like, this has to be a piece and you have to post it. And it's like, it's a doodle, man. It doesn't have to be a complete thing. It could just be half done and it's still done. But yeah, that's a little insight on who I am as an artist. I love to finish things all the time. Even if it looks like shit, it's like, well, at least it's finished, you know? I think it's because I also like to approach digital art in a very similar way as traditional work. It was on Twitter, there was like a drawing or a diagram, I guess, where someone posted the difference between digital art and, or they call it analog art process versus a digital art process. And the digital process had so many, like, it was like this huge web, because there were so many different outcomes that you can have when you work digitally, because you can undo, you can paste, you can see how things work, you can undo everything, you can start all, like, there's so many countless directions your artwork can go, and it's crazy, versus the analog art process, where it was like 1, 2, and 3. That's it. It's done. Whatever you have, you either stop while you're ahead, or you just keep going. And you can't go too far, honestly. So I found that really interesting, because it made me realize why I love traditional work. I love that there are finite options and routes to take. You can't go too far on one end, because then you might fuck up and you can't go back. But I like that. Like, that's why I try my best to make my digital process as close to traditional as possible, because I don't want to be someone who is just constantly reworking my stuff to a point where it's just unrecognizable from what I originally wanted, and I'm dissatisfied. Like, I don't want that. I want to just be able to say, all right, I made this, I finished it, and it's done. And this piece, I still like a lot, like the drawing part, even though I did it 2 years ago. I think it's because I worked in a very traditional way. Like, I try and use the least amount of layers when I draw, because I just don't want to keep being like, oh, well, let's fix, like, if something's fucked up, it's fucked up, and I just have to do it all over again. And I don't know, it just makes me appreciate my work a lot more when I work in this way. And I kind of recommend other people to try this techniques as well, I guess. Anyways, I digressed. I went on a whole tangent, but I really like this piece. I think it feels very traditional. I think it could feel a little more traditional, but it feels very much hand painted, which I really, really like. So I'm happy with it. I'm so happy to present to you my knock knock fan art. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this gab o'clock. This is not gonna be a common video format, but I was just too lazy to do a speed paint with music and editing. So there you have it. See ya. Thank you so much for enjoying that little special broadcast we just had. I'd like to really thank my patrons for just supporting me in all my silly creative endeavors. I'd like to thank Star, KMM, Meetup Pancake, Mandy, McMarthy, Fred by Don, Beryl, Ragna, Khan, Lyle Meg, Snooka Snurk, Bromibs, FedEx Candy, Mossman, Worthy Kids, Neothalamus, Clown Snot, May, Scone Stotus, Lunchworms, Sneeze, Renee Oma, Jaws, Melody Annie, Isle of the Lines, Example Text 88, Neil Anderson, Inga, SC Links, EP, Smart Alex, Stinky Poo Poo, Shiggy, Craig, Clown Emojis, Grayson, Indy, Halo, Catherine, Kat, April Ray, Kennedy B, Mariah, Faith, Wizard Fancier, Grinder 404, Kip, Al Green, L, The Gay Cousin, Wizza, Art by Con, Jasper, Audrey, Pippi G, Tired Elric, and a very special thank you for being the patron to help me hit my $250 goal, Summer Thunder. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for deciding to subscribe to my Patreon and see all the stuff I post. My $250 goal was for me to basically make you guys a tutorial on how to stylize faces. So now that I've reached that goal, I will be working on that video. I've mentioned this on my Instagram and on a post on YouTube. All I ask is for your patience, because there are a lot of things I need to do. There's videos I'd like to finish off, and I will be going on vacation and then getting my fucking tooth removed. And so I'm gonna try my best to keep my eye on the prize, but look forward to some of these shorter videos in the meantime as I prepare this video, because I like to put a lot of effort in my tutorials. So I hope you look forward to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I liked making this one a lot. It was pretty easy, but it was very fun at the same time. So yeah, I hope you liked this. I hope you will subscribe to my Patreon and look forward to more goals. So yeah, I'll see ya in the next one. Bye.